Hey, it's Nerve, back again. It's been a while. I got something new. This isn't my typical thing that I usually review, but I thought it was interesting looking, and I don't really have much from Schrade, so I decided to get this little guy. It's a demolition bar. I can't remember exactly what the item number or whatever you want to call it's called. It's like the schpb2bk or something. I'll put that in, obviously, the title and description. But yeah, it's a Schrade demo bar. It's made out of 1055 hardened carbon steel, obviously, and comes with, I don't have the box that it came with because I didn't want to bring the box with me. It's just a regular standard Schrade box with one little pamphlet in it, and that was about it. So all it comes with, and this is the most disappointing part about this whole thing, I mean, it does its job, but that's the sheath. It's just a piece of like polycarbonate, or not even polycarbonate, it's polypropylene or something. It's just a piece of plastic. It's got a little snap. Surprisingly, the snap actually works. It's plastic, but it holds it pretty tight in there. It's nothing special, but it does its job. I would like to get something better for it, but I mean, it is what it is right now. So to start off, sorry, there's mosquitoes here. Lots of mosquitoes. And I apologize also if there's any noise, like chainsaws or cars going by, trucks going by, or whatever the case is. For noise, I don't really have any control over that, but that's beside the point. So anyways, being a demo bar, obviously it has a pry on the one side, the nail puller, and then it has, I believe this is for shutting off gas valves on houses or whatever. I mean, you could use it for other things. You could use it for a box wrench if it was the right size for the thing that you're trying to use it on. A little further down, it is, I guess, like a hammer area. That's what I've been using it for. It's got these little ridges, and it does work, obviously, as a hammer. And then on the other side, you've got a hook, and that's for, like, I guess, drywall and wood. You just hook it onto whatever you need to pull on to destroy it, because it is a demo bar. And then you have a drywall axe there, which is surprisingly effective on other things, such as wood. I mean, obviously you wouldn't, if you had a choice, use this as a woods tool or an outdoor thing. But I mean, it's an emergency tool, and if this is what you found and this is what you had, you could make do. And then it's got your chisel end on it, and also a nail puller, another nail pull for larger nails and such. And it's wrapped in paracord. Paracord is not the most comfortable thing in the world. It's doable. It doesn't hurt my hand that much. That's why I'm not wearing gloves. It's just not super comfortable. And I'm not sure how long paracord they give you. Real rough estimate, I'm going to say this is about 10 to 15 feet it looks. Because I do have paracord wrapped around some other of my items, and I know that's roughly around the same size. So, and it is actually real paracord too. It's not just shoestring or whatever a lot of people pass off as paracord. So that's pretty decent. So anyways, on with the test. So, being that it is a pry bar, let's see how well it pries. I put this down earlier just as an example, and it does, from my other tests, it works fairly well. And these are actually screws that it's in, so it's actually harder for me to pry it out. And there we go. That wasn't too bad at all. See, screws. And yes, this is a piece of burnt stuff. It's all that I had though at the moment. So next we're gonna do nail test for the hammer. And hopefully I won't do a fail like I did last time with my axe video. Alright, so that should be far enough. Now, I'd just like to point out that this is not the longest tool in the world, so you're not getting a whole lot of leverage. But it does still pry fairly well. And there you go. So that's that. And just take that out. Now, let's see how well the axe thing portion of it works. So let's say you're in the woods, you've got nothing else on you, it's an emergency situation, you had this in your car, your truck, whatever, and you needed to, say, make a tent peg or something. Let's see how it does at that. Now, again, I'm not promoting this as a woods tool. I'm merely saying that if this is the only thing you had, would it work? It's a little on the bulky side. It weighs, I think, about 3 pounds. But I mean, for any sort of axe head, you obviously want it to be a little on the heavier side. And it's not perfect by any means, but I mean, it does chop. And I mean, let's see how well it's gonna. Now, it is a chisel grind, as you can see, so it's not made for this. But, as you can see, it's actually working decent. And the one thing is, that little hook right there lets you choke up on it, kind of like a choil. So you can get better control of it if you're doing anything silly like this. So, although it's not made for that sort of thing, it actually did do a fairly decent job. Now let's see. Now, if this was glass or anything that you didn't want to touch, obviously it would be a fairly good break and rake type of tool. Let's see how well it chops. Chop that off pretty easy. And it actually made a fairly flat cut. Let's try that again. Now, being that it is a chisel grind, you do have to hold it at a kind of an odd angle to get it to cut properly or chop properly. For example, if I'm putting it into this log here, which doesn't want to stick, probably because it's a very wide grind, steep grind, but if you're just taking chunks out of something, it's fine for that. Doesn't split very well. I have tried splitting logs and stuff with it. Just doesn't do it very well. I mean, you could probably baton with it if you tried, but I wouldn't recommend it. So all in all, does it make a good woods tool? No, not really. It's not very good for that, but that's not what it was designed for. Does it make a good demo bar? Yeah, I would say it definitely makes a good demo bar. It's good at smashing. The only thing that I'm not too fond about it, besides for the crappy plastic sheath, is the length. I wish that it was about yay long, so another maybe 3.5 inches long, just to give it extra leverage when you're using it as a pry tool. Because, for example, this guy right here, which you've seen in other videos, being that it is 19 inches long, it's a much easier tool to use as a pry tool. You really can get some good leverage. I'll give you an example. Now that I have nails and something that I can actually pry out of instead of trying to pry through using my hands, which obviously if you saw that video, didn't really work very well. Okay, so now example. The other one was quite difficult. I mean, you obviously can't see how difficult of a time I'm having, but this one I don't even have to like reef on it. I can just push and it just comes right out nice and easy, just because it's got all that extra leverage on it. So obviously if you're using something as a woods tool, this would be a much better woods tool, but if you're using it as a demo tool, that one works just fine. But this one also very, very good. I would highly recommend this. However, if you're on a budget, this is much cheaper. This being $425 plus the sheath that it comes with, which is right here, which is a great sheath, awesome sheath. However, when it's all said and done, it's about $470 for this. Now this is much, much, much cheaper. This on Amazon US is $47 and change, $47. So that is basically 10 times the price. And although this is not as good steel, this is 1055 steel, that's S7, and obviously this is a lot more steel as well. So I mean, it is a trade-off. If you don't have the money, obviously you wouldn't want to get this, but if you're on a budget and you need something demo tool like that can also do some other things, this is a good way to go. So that being said, check out the Schrade demo tool if you need something like that, and that's about it. So hope you guys have a good day.